everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Ashwati. Students, in this lecture, we are going to have a syllabus discussion for paper 2 political science. Students, those students who are going to appear or opt for political science for the UGC NET examination, for them it is very necessary to know about the syllabus. For every examination, I'm not talking just about the UGC NET examination, for UPSC or whatsoever you are preparing for state civil services or whatsoever examinations are there, you have to understand first the syllabus. You can download it from the NTA website also, the syllabus, the latest syllabus, what are the new areas, if there is any new addition, all these things you must know. Why syllabus is necessary? Because once you make a glance through the syllabus, you get to know that what sort of areas they are asking, what sort of areas they are going to cover in the examination, and you will get to know about the focus areas. Unlike your whatever you have studied in your bachelor's and master's, their syllabus actually you will find the similar things, but for the examination perspective, there are various focus areas. And when with reference to your political science syllabus for UGC NET examination, there are 10 units. And these 10 units are very important ones. Why? I will tell you. And these units are actually having, some of the units are having interconnections as well, that I will be discussing in this lecture. So we will first start with unit 1, and that is political theory. I always suggest my students to start their preparation for UGC NET from the unit 1 itself. Like, I was also a student some time back, so I also had this habit of like choosing my favorite subject. Like, I was very much enthusiastic about international relations, so I used to pick up, okay, let me just first start with IR. That is not the correct way. First, you have to start with the political theory itself, because this is the foundation section itself. Because once you read through the political theory, you will get to know about the foundation itself. You should be well aware about the major theories in political science through the political theory unit itself. Like, it will provide you an understanding about the major concepts and the political traditions. So what are the major concepts in political theory? Like liberty, equality, justice, rights, democracy, power, citizenship. Now these concepts have went through various changes over the years, or we can say that over the centuries we must be saying. So like earlier we had a kind of a normative approach, very institutionalist approach we had, which was highly, what we say, its understanding was more philosophical. Then came the behavioral approach, which brought science to the realm of political theory. Then came another change, and that is called the post-behavioralism. So you can see that the normatism that promoted the values, behavioralism promoted the facts, then post-behavioralism promoted facts plus values. So you can see that these are the trends and changes that you observe in political theory, and you have to understand them through various concepts like liberty, equality, justice, rights, democracy, power and citizenship. Then comes the political tradition. So we are starting with like liberalism, conservatism, socialism, Marxism, feminism, ecologism, multiculturalism, postmodernism. With reference to when you are studying the political theory in a historical sense, you will get to know that like how these traditions emerged, what changes happened in between the traditions, what were the major events that shaped these traditions. So these all things are very important from the perspective of your preparation. Now moving to our next unit, and this is unit number 2, political thought. In this unit, you will find most thinkers are Western thinkers, and some of the thinkers like from China is also there, 2 thinkers from China as well as from Africa, from Northern Africa, all these thinkers are here. So we will just check out Confucius, who is a Chinese philosopher, ancient Chinese philosopher, Plato, Aristotle, Greek philosophers, basically Aristotle from Macedonia, but he lived in Plato's place. Okay. Then after you have Italian thinker Machiavelli, then Thomas Hobbes, English thinker, John Locke, English thinker, then we have Jean-Jacques Rousseau. These are part of the social contract theory. Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, social contractual thinkers. Then we have G.W.F. Hegel. Then after, who is known for German idealism. Mary Wollstonecraft, one of the earliest feminists in the modern period. Then we have to study, like when we are dealing with Mary Wollstonecraft, we also deal with her criticism about Edmund Burke conservatism. Again, our unit 1 is going to be repeated here itself, because many thinkers in the unit 1, they are going to be repeated here. Because when you are dealing with liberalism, obviously you will be studying about Thomas Hobbes, Locke, and their idea of democracy and all. When we are studying about democracy, obviously we have to study about how Thomas Hobbes created that Leviathan, how John Locke actually tried to speak about the formation of the government, general will theory of Jean-Jacques Rousseau. So these two units are actually interconnected. Then we have John Stuart Mill. Obviously, when you have dealt with democracy, then we have John Stuart Mill, who has spoken about the representative democracy. Then we have Karl Marx, and every time, whenever, like for every concept, we find the Marxist interpretation as well. So here we are again going to study about Karl Marx, about his life, about his major works, about his major ideas as well. Then we have Antonio Gramsci, who is a neo-Marxist thinker. Then we have Hannah Arendt, whose constructive theory of power, which we have already studied in the unit number 1, will be repeated here itself. But yes, with her understanding about here, we will be studying in more detail about her theory on violence, theory on totalitarianism, theory on various other aspects, and how, like, she has tried to portray that the real meaning of power. Then Franz Fanon, his theory on, the Algerian, like how he actually formulated his theory during the Algerian Civil War. Then Mao Zedong, a communist thinker from China, and how he established the People's Republic of China and various other aspects. Then we have John Rawls. Already we have dealt with John Rawls in the previous unit with reference to the justice theory. Again, we will be studying him here. Now, moving to our next unit, this is purely Indian political thought. This one we can actually divide into ancient, medieval, and modern period. Like Dharmashastras, Kautilya, Aganna Sutta, 3 of them belong to the ancient period. Then Ziauddin Barni, Kabir, both are thinkers from that of the medieval period. Then after we have Pandita Ramabai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Swami Vivekanand, Rabindranath Tagore, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Sri Aurobindo, Periyar, E.V. Ramaswamy, Muhammad Iqbal, M.N. Roy, V.D. Savarkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Ram Manohar Lohia, Jai Prakash Narayan, Deen Dayal Upadhyay, all these thinkers belong to the modern period. So my approach here is to first start with their life sketch, then after their major ideas, their major works, and how they formulated their ideas in the given political context, social or economic context, that will be investigated, because these things are very important to learn with reference to your UGC NET examination. Now, unit number 4, comparative political analysis. Now, you will find here very interesting point is that in comparative political analysis, again you will find a kind of a repetition from that of the unit 1 itself. That's why unit 1, unit 2 and unit 4 are highly interconnected. So here we have to first start with the approaches: institutionalist approach, political culture approach, political economy approach, neo-institutionalism, comparative method, then structural functionalism. So many theories, so many approaches are there that we will be dealing here. And many of the thinkers from the unit 1 are going to be repeated here. So you will find it more easier to understand. That is the reason why I said that you have to start from unit number 1 itself. Now here, nationalism, various theories are there, like with reference to nationalism, like we have the primordial theories, institutional, instrumentalist theories, modernism, perennialism. So many theories will be dealt here. Colonialism, decolonization, then theories on state, the liberal state, the Marxist state, the post-colonial state, and various other aspects here. Types of political regimes, like democratic regimes, authoritarian regimes, dictatorial regimes, etc. Democratization, here we will be focusing more on the waves of democratization. Constitutions and constitutionalism, what do you mean by the limited government? Then theories in development also, like it will also involve the liberal approach, the Marxian approach, especially the neo-Marxist approach, the dependency school, and so many theories are going to be dealt here. Structures of power, political parties, what are the different types of political parties that we see, like Jean Blonder's classification, Sartori's classification, Duverger's classification, all these things will be dealt here. Then we have interest groups like, the institutional group, the economic groups, etc. Then we have social movements. What is the principal difference between the new social movements, old social movements? What are the changing trends and patterns? All these things will be dealt here. Then your unit number 5, international relations. Here also we will be starting with the approaches, like theories of international relations. You have so many theories: idealism, realism, neo-realism, neoliberal institutionalism. You have postmodernism, you have English school, then after Copenhagen school, so many theories are there that we will be studying here. Then after the concepts like what do you mean by the power, what do you mean by sovereignty with reference to so many concepts will be dealt here. Again, these concepts you might have like you may have studied in your unit number 1 itself. Unit number 4, again you're repeating it here in the concept section itself. So the theory of power, you have already studied it. Here you will be studying power with reference to the international politics. So in this way your base is clear. Then comes conflict resolution and peace building, United Nations, political economy of international relations, global financial governance institutions. Then we have regional organizations, ASEAN, SAARC, BIMSTEC, so many regional groupings are there. Then contemporary challenges like poverty, terrorism, climate change, etc. will be dealt here. Then we have India's foreign policy, perspectives and determinants, India's relations with major powers like USA, China, Russia, etc. India's engagement with the multipolar world, the new emerging powers in the world. Then India's relationship with the neighbors, like our immediate neighbors, far neighbors. Then we have how India actually, how its diplomacy works in the international regimes. Then the contemporary challenges. Then unit number 7, we have political institutions in India. Here you have to focus more on the constitution, like how the making of the India's constitution, philosophy of the Indian constitution, the union executive, then after union parliament, judiciary, then executive and legislature in the states, like then after you have nature of federalism in India, local governance, panchayati raj, electoral processes, political parties in India, working of constitutional statutory bodies. These areas we have to cover. Moving to our next slide, unit number 8. This is also like, this unit is connected with unit number 7. So unit number 7 and 8 are interconnected. Political processes in India, state, economy and development, like, it is about the theory of Indian state, basically the liberal interpretation, Marxist interpretation, Gandhian interpretation. So many interpretations you will find here. Process of globalization, the different narratives within India. Then after identity politics, then we will be like caste, class, gender, all these things will be covered. Yeah, social movements, again, we have so many social movements that are there in the country. Civil society groups, its impact on Indian politics, and how the civil society groups are functioning in India. Then regionalization of Indian politics, gender and politics in India, ideology and social basis of political parties, then electoral politics. So you can see here, some of the sections we have already dealt in the previous unit. So you can see there is a connection. Then after we have the 9th unit, that is that deals with public administration. Here it is very theoretical. So we will first start with the major theories, the evolution of the discipline. Then after comparative public administration, theories and principles of organization. So many principles of organization are there, which all will be covered here. Then managing the organization, organizational communication, managing conflict in the organization, and management by objectives. All these things will be covered here. Now unit number 9 and unit number 10 are actually interconnected. Why? Because governance and public policy in India is the unit number 10. Here we will be discussing the public administration from the perspective of India. Here good governance, democratic governance will be dealt here. Then after accountability and control, the relation between executive, legislature and judiciary. institutional mechanism for good governance, local governance, planning and development, how it takes place in India, public policy in India with reference to health care, environment, safe drinking water. So many policies will be dealt here. Then evaluation of the public policy, especially like Jan Sunwai, social audit and various other aspects will be covered here. So students, in this lecture, we have discussed about the syllabus in detail, and as I have mentioned in the beginning of this lecture itself, that understanding the syllabus is key to your success in your UGC NET examination. You have to first understand the syllabus. Hope this lecture is going to be helpful to you people. Thank you for watching this lecture. See you in another lecture. Bye.